smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I
Y'all know what time it is. Let's do it.
They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get the squeeze and leave a nigga. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get the squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. Raw Molly got me all up in demon mode. Mouth moving like I done put clean in my nose. Trying to catch me up, I can leave with some hoes. He standing straight up, watch I make him lean with this pole. Would've thought he was closed, how that heat made him fold. Thought it was a game, he won't think no more. His brain's gone, nigga. It be exciting when I get the strike. And guns sound like thunder, hit you like lightning. Fight for your life, we don't do no fighting. We really hit it, nigga. We worse than savage, they calling us Vikings. Police be riding, we still be sliding. Told you we hitters, remember the time. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get the squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get the squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. How about I leave them holding like the Bible? AR-15, that's a high-power rifle. A in the army and assassinate rivals. Break that shit down, nigga. AK or anybody kill. Hop out, get the drilling and spilling. 7.62 gon' split 'em. FN, that's for any fuck nigga. You a plug, then I'm pulling up, nigga. You my lunch, eating bullet for dinner. 5.0, eat 'em up. SK, smoke killer for show. Drum rounds and cripple off straight go. I got 'em all, you don't want no. I got all those things, nigga. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get the squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get the squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding.
First off, peace and blessings to each and every one of y'all in here, man. Thank you for showing up here. Y'all could be anywhere else in the world, but y'all here with me. Y'all here with the upper echelon. We about to get this sports bar popping. Salute to my guy Ray Davis. Salute, King. All things. First one in, last one out. Peace and blessings, King. Aqua Flex. There you go. Gotta get your flex on. Peace and blessings, King. D1. Nate Dogg. That's Division 1 Sports, baby. He's up in here, ready to represent. Peace and blessings, King. We got my dog, Expensive Paper. Bomb Squad's in the building. Bomb Squad all day, every day. We got Jamal Fareed. Peace and blessings, King. I'm glad you're here, homie. Shawar Allah, welcome back. You know, it's not been the same without you in here, Queen, but you know, I know. Peace and blessings. And let's see who else we got. Coach Amber, the lovely Coach Amber, with the boxing knowledge and the toolage, here to teach y'all about, you know, everything that has to do with amateur boxing and Olympic styling. John Kramer, peace and blessings, King. Peace and blessings. Now, let's get this work going, man. Let's get this work popping. Now, Shakur Stevenson, one of the best fights out, but it's not being talked about. But I've been talking about it. We've been talking about it. And yes, salute to my lovely host, Key Alexander. She'll be here in a few minutes. She's finishing up some paperwork, but she's getting on the way. To my dog, Ra, peace and blessings, homie. Peace and blessings. Glad you made it. Glad you made it. But, yeah. Notice we ain't getting no feedback on the Shakur Stevenson fight when it's probably the best fight that's out of the last 3 big fights. I feel like it's better than the Boo Boo and Benavidez fight. And I feel like it's better than Devin and Regis fight. I feel like this fight right here, we're about to see something special. We're about to see Shakur go up against arguably, like the African said, a 50-50 fight. Edwin De Los Santos isn't no slow leak, and this man has been calling Shakur for over a year. So he's been training for Shakur. He's been watching for Shakur. The last match that we seen his boxing ability. We seen how he came out strong, aggressive, beating his opponent up. Then he sat back and boxed on the back foot and showed us, hey, I can do it all in here. Don't sleep on me. I'm calling this man for a reason. And Shakur, he's the epitome of greatness. Like this man pisses excellence. When he goes to the bathroom, he take a piss. It's excellence. The man sat there and trained Bud Crawford for the biggest fight of his career. Yes, he sparred Bud the whole training camp, teaching him new moves, how to stay on that front foot, how to be right there in reach of a boxer and not get hit. Like that man shows you how to stay in there. He swims but don't get wet. Like you toss that man in the middle of the ocean, he gonna come out on the other side and ain't gonna be a drop of water on that man. Yes, he's the epitome of swimming and not getting wet. Yes, he is. And now we about to see him go in there against a typhoon. Yes, it's gonna be Typhoon Lagoon in the water park. Yes, and we're gonna see if De La Santo can drown this man, get him wet at least, get a little water on him. Because I'm gonna tell you like this, and I'm gonna ask everybody in the chat room: name a fight where Shakur Stevenson has lost a round. Like I've been sitting back watching a lot of film on Shakur lately and on De La Santos. I can't really pick a definite round that he lost. That's why Bill Haney, my guy, frequent flyer, salute, peace and blessings. That's why Bill Haney, out his own mouth, said, when you get off on Shakur, even a little bit, that's a great day. That means if you can catch Shakur clean, you done, man, my guy, expensive paper in the building already. $20 holler. Bomb squad. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Already out the way. But yeah, exactly, Shawala. You're not gonna find around that Shakur loses. The man is a perfectionist. The man takes his boxing very seriously. Yes, he does. And one thing about Shakur, he's coming to fight. He doesn't take a day off. But we have seen what happened when Shakur feels a little bit of power. And we have seen what happened. Shane Frazier, salute, King, peace and blessings. We have seen when Shakur has pressure put on him. Now, when he fought Nakatilia had a different type of power that Shakur wasn't used to. But even though Shakur was on that back foot the whole night, he still won. It's starting already. Shout out to my guy Nate Dogg, D1 with the $5 holla. I'll support for a G. Exactly, homie. Appreciate it. Al Boogie, what's good, homie? Nah, it wasn't you. It's I have a lot of problem with StreamYard, and the thing is, I've upgraded to the good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought I had the stuff where it was that premium. I can have as many people up on here that it allows me. You know, I get in a little bit of change, but it's when I start talking this real stuff when they want to start messing with a G. You feel me? They don't want this to come out. They don't want the fact to come out that this fight right here is something serious. Yeah, it's going to the upper room. Y'all give me 1 second. I'm fixing this thing real quick. Hold on. Teach, salute. Ariana, welcome to the upper room, the upper echelon sports bar. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We like to indoctrinate and welcome you to the party. And yeah, first off, how's everybody doing today? I'm sorry about that. I'm supposed to ask that first. How's everybody doing today? All right. But yeah, what I was gonna say, Bob Arum, like I said before, doesn't like Shakur. He doesn't. He doesn't like what Shakur may become. Shakur is basically a Floyd Mayweather protege about to come through. Because, like I said, he knows what Shakur can become. And he doesn't want that on his watch. Because he had a Floyd Mayweather. Where connections? He had a Floyd Mayweather, and look where he got him. You know, like he wasn't able to control that. Floyd moved on and made himself the biggest money that he's ever made after he left Bob Arum. And see, Bob Arum, and I'm not gonna say nothing bad about it, but Bob Arum and Top Rank, they the best place to start when you start your boxing career. But once you become a star, that's not where you want to be at. Because, like I explained to y'all, Manny Pacquiao, he had 6 straight fights with over 1 million pay-per-view buys. And with Top Rank, they have a budget. They have a motto, right? So, yeah, he got over 1 million buys, but he didn't get credit until he crossed the 500K threshold. Terrence Crawford spoke about that and alluded to that also. So when he crossed the 500K threshold, that's when he starts getting a percentage. And the percentage is minuscule. I think they said it's between 22 to 25%. So if I sold 1.3 million, I'm only getting credit for 800,000. Then you're only giving me 22%. So 22%, well, 800,000, $80 a bot. That's 64 million. 50% of that is 32. And half of that is 16. So he was getting around 15, 16 million plus his guarantee. So he would probably get like a $10, $15 guarantee, 15 million. Plus that 12 on the back end. And that right there is only like 27 million. Like, he's really getting shorted. Did I just see my guy Woso coming? William Old School in the building. What's up, Woso? Yes, sir. He's in the building. But yeah, that's only like 27 million, maybe 30 at the most. So he's making 30 at the most on a fight that did 64 million on just pay-per-view. So that's 64 million on pay-per-view. Let's take away the 30 that Pacquiao get. That's leaving Bob Arum 34 million. So Bob Arum is getting 34 million. So with Bob Arum getting 34 million, that means everything else. No sound. Okay. 33. 33. All right, Aaron Muhammad, there we go. And my lovely co-host Key Alexander here. Let me drop the link for her. Boxing matchups with D Free. Peace and blessings, King. Aaron Muhammad, peace and blessings, King. Welcome to the upper echelon. Shout out to my guy, Expensive Paper again with the $20 holler. Bomb Squad in the building again, shooting out for your boy. That's what I'm talking about right there. My man, Expensive Paper, putting a stamp on it today. Welcome to the show, my lovely co-host. I'm gonna let y'all let her bring it in for y'all. Go ahead, Keith. Peace and blessings, and welcome to the show today, Ma.
Hey, gosh, what am I bringing in, Upper? You always put me on the spot. What are we discussing? What were you discussing before I came in? I know you were talking, you were speaking something about numbers. So what were you talking about?
Nah, I was just coming in, original American. Peace and blessings, King. Welcome to the show. I was just letting you come in and say your thing. Your intro. You didn't get a chance to do your intro yet. That's what I was letting you do.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome everybody. Thank you guys for coming in. Shout out to everybody that's here. All things William Old School. Hey, William. Aaron Muhammad, frequent flyer. Expensive paper. Thank you for the donation. Thank you, Boxing Matchups, for coming. Shawalaya, shout out to that queen, Shane Fraser. D1, as always, shout out to him. Thank you guys for coming in today. We do have a few things to discuss, but I'm gonna take a seat back a little bit so I can get caught up on the numbers that Upper was dropping because I always find that intriguing. So go ahead, Upper.
Yeah, so like I was saying, Manny Pacquiao, he would get like a 15, maybe a 10 to $15 million guarantee. All right. So that's in his pocket. So then, well, matter of fact,
Right.
he sat there and made that money with Floyd Mayweather. That was the biggest paycheck ever, right? But Bob Arum got 25% of that. Yes, Bob Arum ended up getting 25% of what Pacquiao made against Floyd Mayweather. And see, I think Pacquiao made like 280 mil. Like, I know, no, I think they made like 300 some mil together, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think Bob Arum walked away with like 40 mil of Pacquiao's money. And that was the signing bonus that Floyd was trying to give Pacquiao for the fight. But Pacquiao said, nah, we're going to split this thing down the middle because I'm bringing my fans as well. Which, I think they did like 4 million pay-per-view buys. Like, that's the highest grossing fight in boxing history. And, and that's all because people want to see Floyd fall. But after that, Bob Arum with ESPN, they have a budget. And with that budget, they get paid to give out a certain amount of fights. And with the name Pacquiao, he's able to stretch the budget. But Pacquiao would get between 12 to 15 million, depending on who he fight. When he was fighting Marquez, Sugar Shane, Oscar, all the people right there. And he had 3 fights that did 1.3 million. The other 3 did between 1.2 and 1.1. So he had 6 very successful fights. But like I said, he would get anywhere between 12 to 15 million per fight. The Sugar Shane fight, he got 20 million guaranteed. And I think
Mm-hmm.
he got like 17, 18 million on the back end. BFTV, is that my guy? Hold on, let me make sure. Is that the real BFTV people? Because we had a fake one in there. That's my guy, Peace and Blessings. I don't know if that's the real one. I have to check in a second. But if that's the real one, salute to my guy. Oh, that's my guy. Peace and blessings to the king, BFTB. Don't nobody love Devin the way my boy loved Devin. And that's my guy right there. Like I tell everybody, you can't say nothing about the BFTB bomber. But yeah. So Pacquiao used to make between 30 million off over a million pay-per-view buy fight. And he got tired of that. That's why he came to PBC for that good back end money. Barbara D, the Queen, peace and blessings. Reese to Philly, peace and blessings. So yes, Pacquiao got tired of that, and he came over to get some of that Al Heyman back end money, and he did, and he succeeded, and he retired. The same thing Terrence Crawford is trying to do, get that back end money. Because that back end money speaks a lot better than that guaranteed money. That whole boy, peace and blessings, salute. Oh yeah, William Old School, give me 2 minutes. I'm BFTB know he about to get the wrench. I have to go up there and switch devices, but he already knows that. But yeah, Key, that's what we was talking about with the money on the top rank. And that's why they tried to send Al Heyman and sue him because Bob Arum, he's making 64 million off a Pacquiao fight just off the pay-per-view sales. We're not talking about the gate. We're not talking about the promotion. And when Rod Williams, Rod Walker, peace and blessings, Shalom King. We're not talking about the gate. We're not talking about the concessions or the sponsors. We're not talking about none of that. We talking about Bob Arum getting that off just the pay-per-view sales. So Manny Pacquiao fights can run between 80 to 100 million. You don't know how much money's in them fights, but you do know that Pacquiao's not getting more than 30, 35 at the most. And Bob Arum and Golden Boy and all of them used to keep that back end money and walk away with it. But Al Heyman, he focused on the fighters. That's why everybody goes to Al Heyman. That's why you hear Drake shouting Al Heyman out in his songs because Al Heyman makes sure you get everything that you deserve, everything that you earn. That's why fighters like Danny Garcia, who's never had a huge fight except for with Earl Spence, is able to have businesses. Jamal Charlo, he's never did nothing on pay-per-view. He has businesses. So is Jamel. Especially now after the Canelo fight. Al Heyman puts his fighters in position to win. To win not only in boxing, but at life. And that's what makes Al Heyman so great. And that's why they wanted to sue Al Heyman because he made them lose abundance of money. That's why Top Rank, the Zone, all them trying to take Al Heyman to court, but it failed. And then we sitting here running around talking about supporting our own and everything. PBC is the only one of our businesses that is owned by us, for us, for us. You know what I'm saying? BLK Prime wasn't ran by us. It's two Saudis at the head of BLK Prime. It's two Saudis and a Caucasian ahead of everybody. And the only thing they're focused on is getting that bag. Aunt McQueen, peace and blessings, King. Go ahead, Key. You can hop in. I gotta go ahead and wrench up BFTV. Go ahead and hop in.
Okay, and if all that is true, which it is, that's why when it comes to this PBC talk and who's but and they need a network and all this other stuff, I basically it goes in one ear and out the other. To be quite frank with you all, because one thing that I do know is that they're not going to sign Canelo to a 3-fight deal if they didn't know what was going on. In business, it doesn't work that way. If Showtime would have pulled out of boxing ahead of time in the during the schedule, they could have been held liable for a lawsuit. Because of the fact that there's so many schedules, upcoming fighting schedules that has yet to, be put on. Not to mention, you still have to go by what the contract say. None of us knows what that contract is, what it entails. But what we do know is that Showtime said, they're pretty much done with that, done with this aspect, which is boxing. And therefore, I'm pretty sure that the renewal for that or that discussion happened way before the Canelo was announced and everything else. And so PBC and Al Heyman, I'm pretty sure already was working behind the scenes to get other deals done. And they wouldn't have, from what I'm hearing, the rumor is that they have 2 fight dates already in February. Why would they do that if, you know what I'm saying, if they don't know what network they're going to go to? That already lets me know they have a network in play. They probably won't discuss it until I would say in December or sometime. That's what
Yeah,
I would.
that is true. PBC's done been had this boo. Al Heyman, this is chess for him, not checkers. Al Heyman's done had this plan already before. They've already had the platform. They got a platform that's making them bigger and more global. Zenith, salute King, peace and blessings. And this right here is gonna make them more global as well. Like that's why PBC garners so much hate. That's why they push the narrative to try to get people to go against PBC. And just like when you push the narrative against Floyd Mayweather, all you did was garner more fans, more support, and people are paid just to see them fail. It's like an oxymoron. You don't like somebody, so you want to pay money to see them fall. And with them,
Upper, you went out. But you're absolutely right though. I'm gonna go on until you come back
and
in.
that's another thing I was gonna talk about.
Hold on,
Like
Upper.
we got the
Upper.
Devin Haney and Regis Prograis fight coming up, right?
Upper.
Like, okay, they said that Floyd already had that date. True indeed. Devin and them had the date of October 28th. True indeed. But it got pushed back, and they're both on the same date. Now, like I said, Devin is giving us what we want. He's giving us a great fight. Like I said yesterday, people say that Shakur ducked Devin. You can't say Shakur ducked Devin when that man was willing to fight. And just like some people try to say Devin's duck Shakur. You can't say Devin duck Shakur because you can't duck somebody and go fight one of the best in the division above. And that's what I stand on right there. How you gonna say he ducked and he's going to fight? Well, it used to be the boogeyman of the division. And yes, Devin and Bill are smart. They're holding on to the belts because if by chance Regis does win, you know, Devin still got that rabbit in the hole. He still got the WBO belt. And, you know, probably even a bigger fight versus Tio because they have history as well. So if Devin was by chance to lose to Regis, which I don't think is going to happen, you know, he got the cleanup to go back up there and fight the man who he really been wanting for years, Tio. I just feel like I wish Devin would have went to a better platform than DAZN because, like I said, whenever one of our kings start doing this, I always wish for the best. Like I don't want a king to sit there and go pay-per-view, then go back and start regular TV. It's detrimental and it's hustling backwards. So I respect the fact that he's staying on pay-per-view. I wish he'd have went to some place like PBC who has a great venue and a great platform to do it because we all seen DAZN. We all know what DAZN pay-per-views like. It's real shoddy. It is real shoddy and it's not the greatest. It's not the greatest. Devin and Tank and Ryan did 1.2 on Showtime between 1.2 and 1.4. The Zone only did 200K in that fight, and they was lower priced than the Devin than the Showtime. It's because the quality, and I hope the quality doesn't affect the Devin and Regis showing because, like I said, you can say what you want to about the young man and you know his dad. You know that's a different story. But when you got the young man right there, the man has did more than Crawford did in his 4 pay-per-views. Like I said, Crawford did 50K his first pay-per-view. He did 148K with Amir. He did 133 to 136 with Sean Porter, and he did under 10K by himself. So we see what his worth is. So I say respect everybody and me. I'm getting both fights. I'm gonna tell you that now because the undercard of Floyd is amazing. And the only thing I want to see on the zone card is Devin versus Regis. That's gonna be a classical fight. This is gonna be the most athletic person Regis has ever fought because Regis always fight fighters that's right in front of him that bang out style that come forward. I want to see if Devin listens to what Floyd say when he says sometimes you can't box a fighter, sometimes you got to fight. And I want to see if he's able to keep Regis off. If Regis said that his punches ain't nothing, I want to see if he can walk through them like he said. And if not, I want him to go out on his shield the way Earl did. Like, if you say something, I want you to stand by it. I don't want to see you bouncing around trying to get out the way. If you say you can walk through it, you want to walk through it. That's what you told me. And I believe in holding people accountable for what they say. But like I said, Devin's going to have to be able to do something. Yeah, under 10K, Rod Walker, under 10K. And had like a 500K gate. Yeah, that fight didn't even garner $1 million. And it made BLK Prime go out of business for the 12th time. They had to file bankruptcy for the 12th time. Yes, they did. EBT, salute, King. So, yes, Regis is always fighting the fighters that stand in front. Like I said, Josh Taylor, I felt like he won that fight, but it's basically the same sort of fighter. So, this is the type of fight I'm going to see if Regis can handle a person that goes lateral. Like we seen in the Zorilla fight, we seen that, you know, lateral movement kind of affects Regis. But like I said, we also have to take into consideration that Regis had hell making weight. That weight was hard on him. Like we seen the videos where they had to pull him out the tub and everything. But that's another thing. If you look at Devin Haney, I told you, Devin Haney maybe got 1 or 2 fights at 140. He's a big young fella. He's still it looks like he's still about 25 pounds away from that weight right now. And as big as he is, he still has to make weight. And I say if a person can make weight, then ain't nothing around. But I feel like the way he looked at 135, 5 pounds more really is not going to help as much. Because like I said, I used to box as well. So it's gonna be buckle up boxing. Salute, King. Ray Davis, salute. Peace and blessings, y'all. But like I said, that little extra 5 pounds, still he's gonna look like a skeleton on there. I feel like Devin's body is doing like Shakur's did when Shakur stayed at 126. Then when he got to 130, he wasn't able to stay there that long because he stayed at 126 and his body passed. And now Devin's around the same age now as Shakur was at 130 when he had to go up another division. You know, it's easy to make weight when you're younger, but as you get older, your body metabolism slows down, your density in the fibers of your muscles, it starts to thicken and heavier. That's why fighters
Think
like Earl did a great thing being able to stay in the same division for over 12 years. That is a feat that's borderline amazing. You want to say something, Key? Go ahead.
what I was going to say is I don't see why to bring it back to Regis, and because I remember when he posted that picture on Instagram of him, was he in a tub or in a bed or something?
He was in a hot tub trying to lose that extra pound.
Yeah, exactly. So, and it looked very, very hard for him to do.
Yes.
But the rule of thumb has always been to stay, even when you are not being active in a ring, to stay to your stay as close to your ring weight as possible. You know that, like, so that you aren't necessarily hurting or killing yourself, because people do have to realize too, especially us fans. Like, I know we be wanting the fights, I know we be wanting, to see these fantasy fights and everything else, but the physiological impact that it puts on these fighters to lose this weight, it's not only what you can see on the external, but it's internal as well.
Oh yeah.
Losing so much weight can impact your liver. Losing too much weight can impact your
Kidneys.
kidneys.
Mm-hmm.
Losing too much weight can impact your stamina, your breathing. And I know that that's like the fad right now, is to lose weight. But I always tell people, no, lose to what you're comfortable with. You know what I'm saying? Because our bodies, some of our figures cannot go into a size 2. Sometimes we are made for a size 8, 10, 12, 14 because of how our body types are. So that's why I'm not too harsh on these fighters when they do decide to become professional athletes, because of the impact that it's causing on you. And that's what I'm concerned with when it comes to Regis. When I saw him in the hot tub and trying to lose weight, and how just how how dramatic it
And you
was.
know what's crazy? Regis is the type, he's a disciplined person outside the ring. You don't never see Regis blow up. But like I said, Regis is one of them fighters, like I said, the 130, the 140, the 154, and the 168 division. Like, these are divisions that's in between the premier divisions. Like I said, if you had 130, that means you're too heavy for 126 and you're not good enough for 135. If you're at 140, you're too heavy for 135 and you're not good enough for 147. Regis should have been went up to 147 to the premier division, but he chose to be a lifelong 140 pounder. And that's what's going to happen when he's getting old. He's like 35 years old. You can't keep doing that. Your father time is undefeated. It is very undefeated. And when he realized he needs to fight at his weight. And like I said, I don't think Devin's going to stay down there that long, because you see how Shakur only had a couple fights at 130, and then next you know he's out of weight. And you see he's more stronger at 135. Like I said, Devin's going to be at 147 in the next 2 years, because
But
his body is superseding that. And you can't go against your body. And I feel like he's going to be much stronger, like Bud at 135, than the 140, the 147, knocking everything out. Because Devin's not a small guy. He's a big guy.
I think too, and that's a good point that you made.
That's what I said, Zenith.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Go ahead.
Okay. I think too, though, when it comes to Regis, one thing that's working in his favor, which it didn't in Josh Taylor when he fought Tio, was Josh Taylor had that long layoff and he was coming off of an injury. So, and then not to mention, Tio was on that, do I still have it tour? Do I still got it tour? So he definitely had the momentum, in my opinion, because I picked him to win when the fight was announced. Um, I think that, that momentum of, I got to go out and show and prove, because he knew what time it was. That worked in his favor. But the good thing about Regis is that he did just have a fight. And so it's not, so he doesn't have to get back down. He's already at that weight. And the excuses for me, it'll just be the styles. Devin just has a better style than Regis, but we can't say, oh, he was off for a long time. He's coming off of an injury or anything else. Like this excuses with this fight would be minimal. So Regis really has to show him improve because he just fought an athletic fighter. And I think that Loma, that fight with Loma taught Devin a lot. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
gonna tell you, I'm glad you
Also,
brought that up
hold
though.
on one second. Hold on one second.
All right.
I think that fight with Loma taught Devin a lot, and I think that the fight with Zorilla also taught Regis something as well. Go ahead. Go ahead, Upper.
I'm glad you brought up that Josh Taylor and stuff. Okay. And that's what I think back to when I think about the Regis and Devin fight. All right. You see, Regis, he struggled with a fighter because, like I said, he's getting older in years and it's hard for him to maintain that weight. The same is said about Josh Taylor. Like, Josh Taylor should have been moved up. The man's almost 5'10 trying to make that weight right there. And his body's not giving it a go. We seen that he arguably lost to Jack Catterall. He arguably lost, but they gave him the win. Regis had a tough fight, and he got the win. Then you remember on Josh Taylor's next fight, he fought Tio, and he was thoroughly outclassed by a more athletic 135 boxer, right? Now Devin's coming up for 135. Regis just had that same problem. Now I'm thinking pretty much that this fight might turn out the same way as Josh Taylor and Teofimo because you got a more athletic fighter coming up. And Regis just struggled making that weight. And people can say what they want, but that weight drain, when you struggle to make weight like that, your body is fatigued and it takes a minute for your body to get in gear. So when you're trying to get in gear, the fight be damn near over with before you can get it started. And that's one of the problems Earl had. He couldn't get it going. Like he said, I couldn't get it in gear. And weight drain is hell. If you've ever fasted or you've ever been fatigued, you know what I'm talking about. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that is definitely true. But again, I think that shoot, it's too late now. If anything, Regis should have been said, okay, I'm moving up to 147 after the Zorilla fight when he showed that dramatic display. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, it's a little too late. I'm just praying that um he still has it in him. Because I stand on it. I've been saying it on this channel. I think that Eddie Hearn is in the deactivation mode when it comes to Regis. I think that Regis is looking to be deactivated. He'll probably be a gatekeeper or something like that. Because I don't think a lot of them fighters want to go to 147 because of the boogeyman Boots.
exactly.
And that'll be a very formidable fight for Boots since everybody want to say he ain't fought nobody. I mean, come on, Regis, two knockout artists. That'll be somebody good on his resume.
He would destroy. He's too athletic. He's too fast. He's too swift. Then you got to realize Regis will be putting on more weight as he's coming up, even though he should have been up there. And even though a fighter is having problems making the lower weight, their body and their muscle composition is still deadlocked at that weight right there. So even when he comes up, he's gonna have to try to put on muscle so he can compete with Boots, while Boots is already there. And Boots is athletic with it. You know what I'm saying? Like he's done mastered that weight right there. So as he's done mastered that weight right there, you got Regis. He's trying to, even though it's 5 pounds, he's gonna try. No, it's 7. Even though it's 7 pounds, he's gonna have to try to adjust. Like I told you, it takes a year to put on 8 pounds of muscle comfortably, correctly. So he's gonna have to try to put on muscle weight during a training camp, and he's gonna have to go out there and fight probably the best person that he's ever thought about fighting. So it's gonna be a rough travel for him. And like I said, Regis is over 35 years old. It's curtain calls for him. He's about to get his biggest payday versus Devin right now, which isn't much because Regis hasn't got payday. Like I told you, 99% of boxers never get $1 million while fighting. Never. 99% of boxers have never got $1 million check. And that's real. That's facts. I thought it was like 98, but me and Fanon looked at it's 99.2%. Yeah, that's Key Alexandra BFTV. You can hop up here, BFTV, if you want to.
I think that too. I think that too with the with when it comes to Boots, one thing that I don't want, and one thing that's working for Boots right now is his youth. Boots is still young, right? He has more fights than his age. I think that is very remarkable. However, one thing that I don't want to happen to Boots is I think after next year, I think Boots needs to set his sights on 154, whether he gets the Spence or Crawford fight.
Nah,
Which I don't think is gonna happen. I'm just saying because I mean, who else at 147? Keith Thurman
I feel like
can
Boots
do
can.
real
I feel like
damage.
Boots can do a round robin and collect them belts because you see he came in at 145. Like he said, he having no problem making the weight and going to 154 is not the premier division. Like even if he goes there, the big fights are not there. The big fights are still in the dominant divisions like 147, 160. 154 is not a big fight division. Like they have marquee divisions for a reason. That's where all the fights be at. That's why. Hey, Dr. Mark, peace and blessings, King. Welcome to the show, Dr. Mark. But yeah, that's a premier division. And I feel like Boots could probably gather up all them belts within a year, year and a half, and then go up to 154. Like I said, I don't see nobody beating Boots till he get to around 160, 168. Because he'll run through 154 and really 160. Like Jamal Charlo and Carlos Adames, I don't think they're ready for that young man, especially if he moves up correctly the way Roy Jones did. Like he clears out 147, takes a fight at 154, gets his muscle right, go for a champion, and
Okay,
continue
so
like
then
that.
who's the big fight for Boots? Now that we know that Bud is not going to fight him, and Spence already said before the fight that his next fight to be at 154, so that's out of the question. Keith Thurman don't want to fight anybody, and Stanley Jones is on the fence. So who else is there left for Boots to fight?
I'm gonna tell you what Boots is gonna have to do. Boots is gonna have to he gonna solidify the 147 division, right? We got that already established. He probably might get one big fight out of that division. One. I think maybe that if Santi Lilian he gets another fight in and Barrios get them another fight in, I feel like that could be a decent fight because it's the Mexican fan base. And like I told people, Mario Barrios done turned it on. Santillion done turned it on. Like, but I feel like he gonna get his bigger fights after he clears the 147 division. He's gonna make himself a name. Remember, Earl wasn't getting the big fights until after he made himself a name. He got that big Mexican fight with Mikey Garcia, and everybody seen the turnout. So I think Boots, he's gonna solidify himself in the next 2 years, get these belts. And then Virgil Ortiz is right there at 154 for Boots. Boots can move up, take Virgil Ortiz. He can move up. It's all types of people. Fundora and Boots will probably be a great fight. Even though Boots will wash him. Then you got Elijah Garcia up there. You got Jesus Ramos. Like these fighters will be more established by the time Boots get up there. Like right now, Boots is padding this stuff up right now. He's only 26. By the time, like I told you, boxers hit their peak between the ages of 28 and 32. I feel like by the time he hits his peak, he'll be done with the welterweight division. Now it's on the bigger and better things. The man's 5'10". So he should have no problem moving up to at least 160, 168. Like Boots move up correctly. He gets the big fight at 154. And then when he gets to 160, he'll have the marquee fight. Because, Virgil Ortiz is not going to be 154 that long. I feel Virgil Ortiz gets a couple fights right there, and then he goes to 160 and states his name because it's a premier division. Exactly, BFTV. Virgil going to 160. Exactly. And I feel like Virgil will dominate 160. With Jamal Charlo gone, Virgil will dominate 160. And I'm thinking maybe Boots can catch Jamel Charlo on the ass end and put that name on his resume. Or at a higher weight, he might catch Earl. Really, you never know. But right now, he doesn't really have the marquee matchup in 147, even though there's a few good fighters there. Like I would like to see Boots smack Conor Benn. Over in the UK, that would probably be a big fight. You know what I'm saying? Like Boots versus Conor Benn. Smack him up. Knock him down around. Stanionis, he said he'll fight Boots after he get a warm-up fight. The man ain't fought in almost 2 years. He said he'll fight Boots. I tell Boots to go to Butayev. Like anybody that's willing, come in like you was doing, take you 3 fights a year and pop ass. Like Canelo used to fight 3 times a year.
But he also needs, and I say this respectfully because y'all know I don't deal with boot slander. Y'all, everybody know that's one of my go-to guys right there. Outside of David Morrell and Tank Davis. So with Boots, I feel as though he needs, and it's the same thing that I told Mr. Diaz the other day when we had the conversation with him. Shout out to Mr. Diaz. I feel as though he needs a good marketing. he needs to be pushed because there's no way in heck that this man has been able to do the things that he do, have more fights than his age, have more knockouts than his age, okay? And he is not pushed or put on the forefront the way that some of these other fighters are.
And
It's just
see,
like I don't like that. I don't like the fact that Keith Thurman is playing with the numbers with him and
yeah,
then coming back and saying, well, I'd rather fight Clarissa Shields than a Boots. Like, come on, bruh.
yeah, but see, that's the thing though. That's still building up Boots because Thurman did the same thing with Earl, and Earl, believe it or not, he came up off Keith Thurman's ducking, and Boots is starting to gain traction. I done looked at the numbers. His numbers is up 127% than what they was 6 months ago. Boots is gaining traction. He's getting feet on the ground. With his last fight with the Ramon Villa, he gained a lot right there. That's why I feel like he needs a nice, good fight right there where he go in there. Thank you, Dr. Mark. He go in there and he bust them up. And even if it's a Jamal James, let him go in there and bust it up. But Boots need to start fighting around 3 times a year like he used to, and that right there will get Boots there because Showtime is going out, so Boots is about to be a free agent. And Al Heyman, he realized what type of gym he has in Boots because Earl is going to the pastures. I'm gonna just say it. Earl got about 2 years left in him. Boots is the next big thing. It's going to be him right there, and Boots will solidify. And yes, BFTV, Virgil Ortiz is 154 now, but 160, because I don't think he's going to stay in 154 that long. 160, Virgil Ortiz would destroy that division. And while he's sitting there doing that, we have Boots calmly making his way up, and him versus Virgil Ortiz is the super fight at 160, because I feel like Virgil Ortiz can comfortably handle everything going down at 150 at 160, and I feel like it'll be just in time for Boots to get up there in about 2 years, because Virgil said we gonna meet, but all the way up there. So he talking about all the way up there, like at 160. You mean he done predicted it all, and that's what I feel like is about to go down.
That's gonna
And,
be a great fight.
welcome, Coach Amber, to the stage. The cook with Key.
That's gonna be a great fight, Virgil and Boots in the future. Just like Tank and Shakur, man. That's gonna be one hell of
The
a fight.
fights that I want to see in the future, I want David Morrell and David Benavidez. After Benavidez gets the scaredness out and he fights Morrell, I want to see that. I want to see Tank versus Devin, Tank versus Shakur, and then I want to see Ryan versus Tio because Ryan done called Tio out, and then we're gonna see that Tank versus Ryan at 140, the rematch. After all that gets handled, because Ryan Garcia is not what people think. And BFTV, if you'd have came by, I would have told you, Ryan Garcia stopped Ugas in sparring. Before Ugas got in the ring with Barrios, they had a 3-round session, and Ryan stopped him. Ryan stopped him with a straight right to the body. Brian King, salute, King.
Hey, Coach Amber Queen. I hope you guys are giving Coach Amber her flowers as she makes her way through these YouTube channels, man. Shout out to the Queen. What you got to say, girl?
Thank you, Key. Thank you, Upper. Salute to the chat. I don't I don't know if you know this, but Virgil, that's my baby. I
Yeah,
love his
you and
daddy
their
to death.
family. You can give us the lowdown on Virgil because that's your family right there. So go ahead.
I love I love his daddy to death. Um, I know Virgil is back in the gym. He's back in the gym. He's sparring. I don't know what weight he's gonna be at, although I wouldn't be mad at 160. Like I try not to hit up his daddy unless there's something going on where he's getting dragged out here, and I'll be like, "Yo, senior, like you got to give me something, you got to give me something." I actually ran into Virgil on my birthday by accident on my way to the barber shop, but he's doing good. He's back sparring. Um, I know they're expecting something coming down the pipe, but I don't know what. At least they haven't said what. But I would love Virgil at 160. I would love Virgil at 160.
He clears
I
that
don't know how
division.
hard 154 would be for him.
I feel like 154 is just like Devin going to 140. I feel like 154 is like Devin going to 140. First off, Devin is a premier champion, so premier champions don't need to be in them smaller divisions like the middle divisions, for one. And for two, that 5-pound increase for Devin is nothing, just like that 154. it's really not going to be much effect on Virgil and his condition. Go ahead and get him up to 160 and let the man work out. He's a big boy. He's over 5'10" as well, with a sturdy structure. And give him time to grow into that weight to make the muscles comfortably. That's what people don't realize. Canelo, yes, he bounces weight, but Canelo gave himself a chance to become. His base weight is 168. That's what y'all don't realize. Canelo and his muscle mass and his base is 168. So when you fight Canelo, you got 168 pounds of muscle that you're going against. Not to mention whatever he rehydrates up to. But your base is going to be 168. Just like Jermell Charlo, his base was 154, regardless of what he was on fight night. And I can say maybe Jermell probably put on about 2 or 3 pounds of pure muscle. Like I said, it takes a year to put on 8. Now, Jermell probably put on about 3. So he might have weighed 168 at weigh-in, but that wasn't his base. Just like they both weighed 167.5. So Canelo weighed 167.5, but then when fight night came, he was probably about 180, 175. And he was pure strength, pure muscle. And you see, he walked through. So salute to the Queen, Barbara G, with the $5 super sticker. Yeah. No, Charlo's not the same. BFTV, but Jermell Charlo versus Virgil will be a great fight. I think that will be a great fight. Right now, I think Charlo will get him because Virgil ain't used to the weight. But I feel like if Virgil come up and fight Castano, or Virgil can fight Castano, Fundora. Hell, Brian Mendoza will be a hell of a fight for Virgil Ortiz at 150.
I would love Virgil and Fundora. I would love
That would
that
be a
fight.
very good fight. Yeah, that would be a very good fight. But I think going back to because Zenith made a good point where he said Floyd said he think Earl should go to 160. He may be right. Floyd also said
He said
should have
160 or 168.
168. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
That he should have fought Bud at 160 or 168, which I don't. I'm still leery about this 154 fight if it happens. I think that Earl should have pulled. Stop it, Gucci. I think that Earl should have pulled a Bud Crawford, and how Bud was saying that he was gonna go to 168 to fight Canelo. I think that Earl should have said, hey, interjected and said, hey, since you want to go to 168, let's fight at 168, and then the winner of us get Canelo. I think that Earl would have a better chance at 168 or 160. I'm still not sold on a 154. But yes, Fundora
Oh,
and Virgil will be a great fight.
for real, Zena? So Elijah Garcia just went to 160? I thought he was still at 154. Because I heard they was talking about next year getting him and Ramos in the ring together. I think they was talking about that. But if he's at 160, oh, you talking about Danny Garcia's at? I know Danny Garcia's at 160. I thought Elijah Garcia was still 154. His last fight was 154, Zena. But if he did go up there, that's crazy because Elijah Garcia, he's real pretty good. PGB Big Dog, salute, King, peace and blessings. But yeah, that's why I say Floyd was so great because everybody else be cutting weight to make fights. Floyd had to gain weight to make fights. Floyd right now walks around on 140, around 140, 143. He had to jump up weight to fight, and at fight night, he would be lower than the fight minimum. And see, that's what people don't realize. That shows his greatness right there. And like I said, Devin's a big boy, and I feel like he got 2, maybe 3 fights at 140. And look, y'all might think I'm bullcrapping. Y'all like, okay, Devin will do this. Devin will never see 135 again. Never. And I'm going to tell you like this. When y'all see how hard this weight is for Devin, y'all going to understand what we're saying. As the years roll by, this is like Shakur. Devin is the same age Shakur was when he missed the Conceição weight. This is what I'm telling you. Your body changes overnight. Overnight, you could be good to make a weight, and then overnight, you can't make it no more. And that's the way your body is. And Devin, like I said, hell, Devin and Boots might be the big fight in 2 years. Who knows?
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. No, don't do that.
Oh, dang, Zenith, that's crazy then, because I guess Elijah Garcia going to 160 because he sees wide open. But Elijah Garcia, people don't realize, but he drops a lot of weight because he walks around like 180. Hell, I'm surprised Jesus Ramos ain't going to 160 because he's big enough to go there because he cuts over 20, 30 pounds. But yeah, like I said, the 154 is like a pit stop. People not trying to stay at 154. It's just for people that's not good enough for 160 and too heavy for 147. That's how these new middle divisions is. Mrs. Just Do, peace and blessings. Shalom, Queen.
I'm not sure though. I think that he would do good at 154. I think that anywhere between for Boots 147 to 160
160.
160 would be good for him, and he will clear out that division. I'm very curious to see the type of noise that Tim Zoo is about to start making. I think, to be honest with you guys, because before this whole PBC fiasco went down with them leaving Showtime, the network that was on the spike was ESPN and Top Rank, and how they were laying off a lot of people. And so I think what we're seeing here for the past 2 years is that boxing is in a critical state. It doesn't matter the network. Boxing is in a critical state. I've heard rumors and reports. I think it was the Zone that has lost millions of dollars this past year for their quarter.
They've done lost over 2 billion.
Okay, they
They
done lost over 2 billion. So they're in a critical boxing in its entirety is in a critical, is in a critical place. And I think that all promoters are knowing, because now you got Oscar talking about crossing the street, which I will take my hat off to Oscar, even though I can be a little critical on him too, because he did make that fight with Tank and Brian. He
No,
did.
he didn't. He was against the
He
fight the
helped.
whole time. Ryan went
No, but
against
he
Oscar.
still signed off on it too, though.
No, he had no
He knew
choice.
what the
Ryan,
money. Yeah, because of the
look,
money.
hold on, Key. No, he had no choice. Ryan went around that man. That's why Oscar was so upset, and then he just went around and took it. That's why they ended up suing Ryan Garcia for an additional $200,000 after the fight, because Oscar didn't want that fight, and then Oscar had to pay the Zone, but he was telling the Zone he didn't want it. It was on Ryan, so Ryan had to pay Oscar's fine of $200,000 after that fight. They didn't want that fight. They didn't. But now
Okay.
when they see the paycheck, now they happy. But Oscar did not want that fight. He was doing any and everything to stop the fight. But then Ryan took control because, like I said, it's arguably the fighter's choice at the end of the day. A manager cannot stop you from making a great fight like that. They can give you a fight, and if you see a fight that's worth more, then by law, you're able to pursue that fight. And Ryan pursued his rights for real. That's what
Okay.
happened.
Well, okay. Well, thank you for that. But irregardless of that, whatever the facts of the matter is that the networks are not all networks are not doing well as we think they are. No one is better than the other. PBC is just putting on the better fights. And so, with that being said, I think that in 2024, the promoters know, and the networks know, and the management and everybody else know that it's time to put on these fights, because the numbers are showing that when you give the audience, it's been showing really, but when you give the audience what they want to see, everybody walks away happy. And so I think we're going to start getting these fights. I think that Jermell, if he does decide to come back to 154, they're going to enforce that fight unless Jermell stays at 160 or 168,
Which
which
fight?
I feel as though he should stay at 168 or at least 160. Just
You
drop the
said
belt.
be forced to which fight, Key?
For Tim Zoo
Oh,
and
they both PBC.
Jermell.
They gonna make that fight. That's a PBC fight.
I know, but I'm weary about, because Jermell went up to 168 to fight Canelo. I'm weary about him dropping all that weight back down and going to fight Tim Zoo at 154. I think he should stay at either 160 or 168.
Hold on. Peace and blessings to KQKC. Peace and blessings, OG. Thank you so much. Rick Timms, peace and blessings. But I see what you're saying, Key. But a lot of Jamil's weight that he put on wasn't weight. He put mostly water weight on. But yeah, I understand. I don't think that him and Tim Zoo really could fight at 154. But Tim Zoo said I'll follow him to 160. But I'm gonna tell you one thing: all these networks and stuff are struggling except PBC. PBC is not struggling. PBC is way ahead of the curve. PBC has amassed $250 million in 3 fights. $250 million. Matter of fact, like maybe almost close to 400 million in 3 fights. And PBC, they're smart. They got all the pay-per-view stars. They got Tank. They got Earl. They got Wilder. They have Canelo. Only thing next is Ryan Garcia and Floyd Mayweather's working on that as we speak. Which you brought out something yesterday. Ryan Garcia, he's on the move right now. He's on the move, and people don't realize it. But Ryan Garcia has called out Teofimo Lopez as well, and that's another thing. Oscar doesn't believe in Ryan. He's trying to get Ryan knocked off by Oscar Duarte. But like I'm telling y'all, Ryan Garcia is a completely different fighter than what y'all know. The man has a straight right that is devastating, and you don't see it coming. His left has always been meticulous. But right now, Ryan's gonna make short work of Oscar Duarte, and you know Teofimo says he wants a 8-figure payday for his next fight. Teofimo versus Ryan Garcia on pay-per-view, that does numbers. It's over 500K regardless. Teofimo will get his bag, and Ryan is the A side of Teofimo. And if Ryan takes out Teofimo and gets that belt, you know, Rolly Romero and Ryan, they have something in common. And Rolly said he's trying to fight Ryan. And Ryan said he wants Rolly. Rolly did Ryan bad in sparring a couple years ago. Ryan versus Rolly for 2 belts. That's another big fight. That's another big fight. And then guess what? Tank at 140 with no weight restrictions. That does over 2 million pay-per-view buys. And then while Devin doing what he doing, the winner of that, fight Devin. Fight Devin. Because Devin's over there with Regis. He's about to take Regis' belt. And if we do it like that, that'll be Devin and the winner of Tank and Ryan for Undisputed. Or have Devin try to get Matias first, then they do that. That's a great series of fights right there, which are doable, which have been in the works that they're talking about as well. So if everything falls in line, we can have the 140 division sold up with great fights because it's some active great fights in there. The boogeyman still is Matias. Somebody's got to go after Matias.
I
But
think
Ryan,
I think that Devin will go after Matias.
that's what I'm saying. I'm thinking Devin, if he puts the show on Regis, if Devin Haney does Regis like I think, and Devin Haney, he's going to be the bigger fighter versus anybody at 140. And like I feel like if Devin, he can acclimate, if he can acclimate, you know, after this fight with Regis, you know, because he got a chance to acclimate to get used to the 140 power. And like I said, by the time he fight Matias, his body will have the strength. He'll have the base. Because that'll be going into his second fight. Like Navarrete's second fight. Like I told y'all, Navarrete was gonna be better and he beat the hell out of Valdez. A person's second fight at the division is really a good thing. Like Boo Boo, he's about to get his second fight. Boo Boo getting his second fight versus David Benavidez. And yes, the first fight was lackluster. But like I said, we might see vintage Boo Boo versus David. Like they got a lot of great fights coming up, and I hope they pursue those fights. That's the problem. Pursue the fights. Give us what we asked for, and people will pay. Unless you're a Bud Crawford fan, then you're gonna stream it. That's what they do.
No, not all. But first of all boxing fans stream now. Don't do that. all,
I,
bo- all boxing fans stream. But yes,
you know
that
what? No,
lowest.
no I'm sorry, y'all. I just told a lie. I'm not even gonna lie. I streamed the zone fights. I ain't gonna lie. It's because the zone has took so much from me, and then they keep lying and keep raising up the price and everything. And plus, I'm not getting the quality that I pay for.
Yes, that is true. I can concur with that. Yeah. I think that actually I think aesthetically, I think Top Rank when they have the fights, they're they look a little better than some of the PBC lesser card fights. I will say that. Like
Yeah.
they production be all the same. But I do feel as though 140, 135 and 140 is definitely heating up. I just can't wait for my boy Boots to and David Morrell and just do like honestly, I just cannot wait for them to really so that the world can see what I see within them, with their skill set and everything that they bring to the table. But yes, 135 and 140 is definitely heating up. I'm excited to see how this is going to play out. Um, I'm
Oh,
excited to
Mrs.
see
Just
how
Do. He'll never. Oh, sorry, Key. Miss Just Do. He'll never make it back to 135. Period.
who.
She said Devin don't know if you want to be 135 or 140. And I was telling her
Oh
he'll never
no,
make it.
that's dead. That's dead. He ain't coming back to 135. He come back to 135, I'd be very, very surprised and shocked. But no, he's not. he's not coming back to 135. I'm curious to see though how Tank is in the mix of this with 135 and 140. I'm curious to see where Gary Antoine Russell, ain't nobody really mentioning him like that. Even Richardson Hitchens, the guy with the two last names, that's what I call him, two last names. I'm
The
see, I'm
yes.
curious to see how he plays out in this because his last fight, I feel, to be honest with you, when it comes to 140 and how if I'm they're maneuvering Devin the way that I think I think that I think that Richardson and Devin will be a good tactical fight. And to this day, I'm still giving Richardson the edge over Devin. That's the only one because I'm one of the very few that says that Devin can beat Matias. And Upper don't agree. Me and Upper go a little back and forth with that. But I don't think Matias, I just feel as though when it comes to the three kings, Devin, Shakur, and Tank, the only ones that beat them are each other. I'm not gonna lie
I
to
don't
y'all.
think Devin
No.
can do it right now. That's the problem. I don't think he
Don't
can
think
do it right now.
so? Man, I don't know. I don't know. For
I think he needs
everybody that
about
thinks
two.
that I'm a Devin hater, no, I'm not. I
I would
still
say it
give
like
them
this.
due to
I
that
think
man.
he needs probably about two fights to get acclimated. Matias is speed. Matias is power. Matias is a freak of nature up there. Like I wish Matias would go ahead and go to 147 because he's a big 140er. I wish he'd go to 147 and let his shit hang out. You feel what I'm saying? Like let it all hang out. Because right now you're doing like I hate when boxers don't realize that they're bottling up their true potential. Like cutting your weight, you're cutting your power, you're cutting your endurance, you're cutting your speed, you're cutting yourself. That's why a lot of fighters, when they move up in divisions as they get older, they look like they have a better career. It's because now you give yourself something to fight with. Like now you got the right bullets. Like you have a 30-06, but you have 9mm bullets. Like you need to get them big boys. Like you sit there with a Kalashnikov and you ain't got 7.62mm rounds. Like you need your rounds for the pistol, for
Okay,
your
so then who do
artillery.
you think? Okay, so then who do you think would be a good matchup for Matias? Would it be Gary Antoine Russell?
That would be a great matchup.
Mm, so I still haven't seen. Can you hear me, Upper?
Yeah, I don't know what the hell
Oh,
just happened.
I still haven't seen enough from Gary Antoine. I know he's on this knockout streak. He has one of the most. He has one of the longest knockout streaks in boxing currently. One of them, but I just feel like I got to see more from him, man. Like I know he was the one that took down Boots. You feel me? Like twice back then. But I still got to see
They
more.
said 3 times, but I don't think Antoine Russell. Like, first off, his thing should have been stopped already. Like, it should have been stopped. They gave him 2 knockouts. I don't feel like he deserved. Like, honestly, I don't think that he knocked out my boy. Honestly, I don't think he knocked. Honestly, I don't think he knocked out Postal. They gave it to him. And versus when he just got finished fighting, Bartholomew, right? I felt like that right there could have been.
Upper.
Yeah, I felt like that. I'm trying to figure out why my picture's not up and yours is. Like, I don't know.
I have
But
no idea what you done did.
yeah, I feel like that right there, they stopped it when he was giving Antoine Russell fits. He was giving him problems. And they waited just like when Rolly fought the old man. He was giving Rolly problems and then they waited for a break in the action or as soon as somebody did something, then they like, yeah, let's stop it. Like I felt like it was a gift stoppage. Like it wasn't the same.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, yeah. That was true. I think Rick just mentioned something like that too. You got it. You fixed it.
Fixed it. Yes.
Rick just mentioned something like that too in the chat. Shout out to Rick Timms, one of the go to these YouTube streets, and a supporter of Upper for forever. So shout out to Rick Timms. Um, I don't know, man. I just want to see more. I just and his brother, Gary Russell, has made the comment too, after his fight, saying, he rated his last performance a B. Yeah, he got the guy up out of there. But how it was so quick. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not really taking his time. And I agree. That's one of the very few times that I've agreed with Gary Russell on some things. Like I think it's time for him to slow down the pace. And so for me with Matias, I think he should go for a more tactical fighter before he fight a Matias, because I think that Matias gonna bring it to him, especially in them first 4 rounds. Like Matias, he's like Benavidez, like he just go 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 go. You know what I'm saying? And whatever Gary.
Actually, Matias in the first few rounds, like his last fight, he sat back and observed and caught data. And then, like around the third and fourth round, he started to analyze. Then he started to tacticiously break the damn dude down.
But that was like more recent though. Like I'm just saying, like most
Oh
of the
yeah,
time I've seen him just, you feel me, like a Gary,
oh yeah,
Gary
he goes.
Russell, get him up out of there.
Yeah, but Gary Antoine Russell, his last fight, I felt like the dude was there for the taking. Like the dude, he was there. He was open all day, man. You could swing for the fences on that guy. Honestly, that's just like the way Tim Zoo did Ocampo. Like he was just there to get knocked out. Like you could tell when a fighter's not there, he's not thinking straight. It's in their eyes. It's in their eyes. But Jordan time six, I don't think Gary Russell and Boots is the next super fight. Like right now, I think Boots will mash that guy. His arms too short to box with the God, honestly. And like I don't feel like he's ready for Boots right now. Plus they're in different weight classes. Plus Antoine Russell, he's too small for Boots, and his arms are too short. And Boots is too fast and athletic. Like Gary Russell will get tagged going in there, tagged going out, tagged thinking about it. Like it'd be like tag, you're it. Matter of fact, I want to see Gary Russell fight Brendan Lee. That'd be a good
Gary
fight for him.
Brendan. You know what? Speaking of 140 though, Upper, and what I had sent you yesterday, real quick, y'all. One thing that I found very interesting. I don't know if any of y'all caught the Ryan Garcia and Duarte press conference. And to be honest with you, the antics. Now let me cook on this for a few seconds, Upper and Coach Amber.
Go for it.
So this is what I saw, y'all, and I'm like really big on aesthetics, on just everything. I look at I hear what's being said, and I hear what's not being said, what I see and what is not seen. When it comes to this sport, and from Ryan, what I've gathered from Ryan Garcia, my assessment is prior, we seen the Ryan Garcia that came out in a throne. Y'all remember that in the ring with the crown on. We've seen Ryan, talk a lot of big stuff, be the model esque Ryan. You feel me? Just have this charisma. You understand? And so now what I seen yesterday was very, very alarming in a good way though. And this is why I say I think, a lot of people are trying to make fun of Tank for tagging Ryan in that post, but I think Tank see it too. And I'm explaining what I see.
Hey, hold on one
I
second, Key.
Okay.
Strap season salute for the $5 holler. He say salute up. We doubling down on the get back and making that bread. Thank you so much, brother. Peace and blessings. Go
So
ahead, Key.
what I see from Ryan Garcia is I see a much calmer Ryan Garcia. I see a Ryan Garcia that is pretty much mentally ready, y'all. Like there wasn't too much trash talking. I guess I know that this was the first presser, but like you guys remember when he fought Tank, it was nonstop. And I know they had to sell that fight, and they did it very, very well. However, ooh, sorry about that. Can you hear me? Upper, can you hear me? Chat, can y'all hear me? Okay, cool. Thank you, Shawah. So, what I was saying was when it comes, what I'm seeing with Ryan is a different Ryan. He is calmer. He's talking more, but it's making sense. It's not all
Yo, can you hear me? Can anybody hear me?
My bad. I'm back. I had to step away for a second. My
Okay,
coworkers
can you hear
need
me,
to leave
Coach
me
Amber?
alone, but I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you, Upper. I can
Okay.
hear you.
Shout out to my guy Aaron Muhammad up at Echelon, just to support for the sports bar. My brother Shalom, peace and blessings, King. Thank you so much. What the hell is going on with this screw tube?
Yeah, I was
So
gonna
this,
say you got two avatars up.
yeah, I know that. I'm on a different device for a second. But what the heck is happening to Key? I didn't cut Key off. Key, we can't hear you. This crap, boy. Well, look, we're gonna cook to Key. Hey, Coach Amber, you want to go ahead and cook it to Key get back and see what she was talking about?
I had to answer my phone for work. What were y'all grilling on? What were y'all talking about?
Um,
I would text her, but I'm on the stream through my phone. Chat. What were we talking about? What were y'all talking about?
I don't think text her because I ain't in my phone right now, and she was talking about Ryan, but she probably don't know that she can't be heard. A lot of times she'd be talking and not knowing that she can't be heard.
All right, I'm gonna text her, then I'll hop back on the stream.
Maybe that'll work. I just pull it off and pull it back. Key, can you hear me? All right, go ahead and try.
All right, I'll be right back.
Boy, and StreamYard have a nerd that had a commercial talking about, oh, we make it so much easier with StreamYard. That yes, StreamYard is this and that right here. But StreamYard ain't shh. I'm just telling you. But yeah, Ryan's press conference, Key's coming back. I'm gonna let her cook on that. Here she go.
okay.
Key,
Yes, can you
there
hear
she go.
me? Jesus, what is going on?
Man, they've been doing that crap all the time.
I have no idea. They Rick me and Rick got our suspicions on who it is. Shout out to Rick Till's, man. But anyways,
Let me find
what
out big. Let me find out he boycotting my channel right now. I just gave you some daggone promo.
right, right. And that's what, man, look, we not even gonna get, you feel me? Cause I think that the Avengers and everything, they've been getting cooked all week, man. So we not even finna on that. You feel me? But anyway.
Yeah, hey Nate Dogg, you gotta blow in there and then snap it. Like you don't put the game all the way in, you leave a little bit out so you can snap it closed. Because if you don't snap the game closed, it ain't gonna work. And you just can't put it straight in and close it. You gotta make that thing snap. There you go. You ain't snap it right, it ain't playing.
So what I was saying about the press conference, can you hear me, Upper?
I can hear you great.
Okay. What about now? Because it just switched. The screen just switched. Am I
Is it
good?
like did Coach Amber just leave?
I think so.
That's why the screen
Okay.
switched.
Okay. So what I was saying was the old Ryan that we've seen at previous press conference is gone. This Ryan, he looks very focused. Upper,
Confident.
you can hear me?
Yeah, he looks confident and
He
focused. Yeah,
looks
go ahead.
yeah, he looks confident. He looks focused. Remember, Ryan came out in a throne chair with a crown. That's what I mean by arrogance. That's what I mean by prideful. That's the fight that he got knocked down in, if you guys recall, with Campbell. But this Ryan, he was welcoming. He made the joke about his left hook. Relying on his left hook. He discussed briefly about the the work that he's been getting with Derek James, what he's been learning. He just looks very humble. You know, when the interviewers, when they came to talk to him, he was just very respectful. He was welcoming. And I think that Ryan truly grasped, it's not even about the loss for Ryan at this point. I think Ryan truly grasps that and as a Tank fan, I have to be I have to be real to say this too. Two stars were born that night. It wasn't just Ryan, it wasn't just Tank Davis that became the face of boxing, but Ryan Garcia also blossomed into the star. And I think that what we're getting ready to see, and I do have him beating Duarte. I know people are thinking that Oscar De La Hoya is feeding him to the wolves, but the Ryan that I saw, he didn't break his stare down. If y'all go look back at that video, he did not break his stare down with Duarte. Instead of doing that rah-rah stuff, you know what I'm saying, in the chest, pushing all that other stuff, he just looked, and I felt like that spoke volumes. He had a calm demeanor when they asked him about Oscar De La Hoya. He gave a brief statement. I'm letting the lawyers handle that. He didn't go all off. He didn't go crazy. He didn't, Adrian Broner us. You know how Adrian be going, went off on Al Heyman. You know what I'm saying? It went off on a couple people. Um, Ryan Garcia didn't do that. Like, I just feel as though he's in a very different space when he talked about his mental health. He talked about a few things. He touched on a few things briefly, but it was powerful. And I'm very curious and I'm excited because I think that Ryan is about to bring something to the 140 division that we have not, that I feel like it's a spark that's missing. I think that he's going to bring some type of spark there once he gets past Duarte, because I do have him beating him in dominant fashion. I think that Ryan is just ready to show the skill. And I think Ryan's his prize is not on Tio. I think that Ryan's prize is on a Tank Davis too.
Exactly, exactly. And I couldn't have said it more better, Key. Ryan is about to show people something. And like I said, that night, two stars was born. Ryan and them both, they went to the streaming networks. So Ryan knows how to promote the fight. This Oscar Duarte fight, yeah. Ryan's not really promoting it like that. That whole boy, peace and blessings. Ryan, for right now, he's not trying to give Oscar nothing really. That's why he ain't really promoting the fight like he did before. Ryan's trying to get from up under that, and I feel like pretty soon he will be because Floyd got the best lawyers, and Ryan has been hollering at Floyd a lot. He's been with Floyd a lot as well, and I feel like when we see Ryan, and Ryan's about to show us a taste this week. I mean, with this fight right here, he's gonna show us a taste of the new Derrick James style, and with that new Derrick James style, we're gonna see a lot. We're gonna see a lot. And did I call out my man Jermaine Bean say with the $2 holler, make it want to get more follow. He said I got Matias stopping everybody. He
Nope.
said everybody.
Nope. I'm one of the I represent 0.00001% of the boxing population that has Devin and Gary Antoine Russell Jr. stopping Matias. Or at least Devin going 12, but Devin probably will have to stop Matias because I don't know if he can go 12 with him yet. Let me see how he look with
Look at
Regis.
how he has again with Regis first because
Yeah, let me
Regis
see how he look with Regis.
because Matias is athletic. He's not Regis. He's athletic, and that man throws bunches and bunches and punches of bunches. Thank Luke Kane. Appreciate you, King. Peace and blessings. I'm glad you stopped through. But yeah, Ryan, people don't realize, but Ryan, he's calling his shots. He's like Babe Ruth out there calling his shots. He said, after the what there, I want T.O. T.O., you say you want an 8-figure payday. If it ain't Tank, it's got to be me. And that's the only way you're going to get it. And that's the only way anybody's going to get it right now because under the 147 division, you got Tank or Ryan. Those are the two faces down there. If you don't fight one of them, you're not getting a big payday right now. Devin's trying to become a star. We're going to see about this next fight right here. Hopefully it does well because, like I said, I like to see all my people do well. I just hate the fact that Eddie Hearn's dumbass put the fight on the same day as Floyd Mayweather. But Eddie Hearns has showed us he's not good with business. That's why the zone has been hemorrhaging money. Like,
Okay, and wait, whoa, Upper. Y'all heard that. Y'all heard that. He didn't mix his words. Eddie Hearn set that date on for on the same day as a PBC fight. Not Mayweather came in and is trying to sabotage Devin Haney. Go ahead, Upper. Thank you for
Nah,
saying that.
Floyd had that date when Devin had the October 28th date. And Regis complained about the October 28th. Plus, Devin wasn't going to be able to make weight by October 28th. That's why he needed a little bit extra time. But, yeah, Eddie Hearns did that. And now I see why the zone be hemorrhaging money because these bad decisions that they make. And a lot of people try to put it on Floyd. Now, Floyd had that date already. So, I'm like I said, I'm going to buy both fights because I really don't care about nothing else on that the zone card but Devin. And I'm only doing this to support because I say support our black fighters, and I do it. I do that, but I want to see the Floyd card because I feel like Mikey Garcia has got something to prove.
How do we rank this Floyd card? Because this is a brilliant card, and this is all Floyd.
It'd be a lot
You
better if Keith
cannot
Thurman
tell
stops.
me
If
you
Keith
got
Thurman stops acting like a punk. If Keith Thurman stops acting like a punk and go ahead and sign, because right now he still hasn't signed the fight with Imantas Stanionis.
you forgot the word diva too. Devo. Keith Thurman is a Devo. Oh my goodness.
You
When
said
you
Andy
make
Cruz
millions,
teach? Yes, Andy Cruz is going to be fighting another fight too. Which card is that Andy Cruz fight on?
that's on Devon's. I think that's on Devon's.
Oh yeah, well yeah, I'm gonna definitely watch that teach, but yeah, Devin and Andy Cruz, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good yes. But I think that Floyd, that whole card is Floyd. Like you can't tell me that Floyd didn't have that's not his thumbprint. And I think that as far as if this goes down, especially if Keith Thurman finally signs, it's not like he got better stuff to do.
That's
But
the perfect fight for him because they both been out.
exactly.
They
And it's basically it's a level playing field. Level.
exactly. And see, I know they got Camille Moulton on the Boo Boo and Benavidez card. That's gonna be a hell of a card too. You got Boo Boo versus Benavidez. You got Camille Moulton in there. Then you got Jamal Charlo versus the other Benavidez. That's a pretty stacked card too. Like PBC stacking these cards, and see people not realizing when you see these cards getting stacked like that, that's because it's a lot of fights going on right now, and they got to put these fights together. So now we're gonna be seeing these cards that are gonna be more fulfilling, like cards that you're gonna make you want to pay for it. Because I'm pretty sure Boo Boo and Benavidez is probably gonna try to go for pay per view again. I'm thinking. I don't know. If, you said
Yeah.
what?
Sorry, Upper. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
To answer your question, Shawai, you put up that who's worse, Thurman or Crawford? I would say Thurman. I would say
Thurman been doing it since 2015.
yeah, Thurman has been
I
a
agree because at least Crawford got in there.
yep, yep. Coach Amber, do you want to cook? I know you said you needed a minute. You want to cook on anything, Coach?
Go ahead, Coach.
No, I've actually been lost kind of half of the show because they've been calling me, so I'm trying to catch up. But I saw that question and I wanted to answer that too because that I feel how I feel about Crawford, but he gave me the fight I wanted to see, so I can't do nothing but respect that. Thurman out here playing hopscotch. I don't know what Thurman's doing.
Thurman is just trying to stay relevant in the press releases without actually doing the work. That's why I lost respect for I used to really like Thurman, man, but I don't know what's been going on. To be honest with you, I really don't. I really don't. Like you can give Barrios a fight, but you don't want to give Boots a fight. But yet Barrios just beat Ugas, and Barrios is welcoming a Boots fight. Like, come on, man. Like
Barrios just came off a knockout though. He just came off being knocked out by Tank. So Keith was like, "Oh hell yeah."
I know, but still though. I mean, yeah, he probably was looking at his
Shout
own.
out Omega Red, the original light skinned brother, the king of the light skinned brothers, Omega Red. He's in here. Go ahead.
Hey, Omega. He's
And
probably
you know what?
looking at that as low hanging fruit. Go ahead, Coach.
You know what? I mean, we've seen what happened to Ugas in his last fight, but I mean, is he at 154? That last fight, was it at 154 or was it at 147?
147.
147, and he was a big.
Okay, like if Keith really wanted some leverage, why not rematch Ugas? If he rematches Ugas and washes him, then he could get himself back into the conversation. Then we could,
Ugas is done, Coach Amber. He's done.
Well, now he's done. Yeah, of course, now he's done. But I'm talking about before he was finished off. You know what I mean? He could have ran that back, and then he like if you're gonna make yourself relevant in the ring, not with this dog and pony show and
Yep, facts.
Instagram. If you ain't got nobody, then you know what? I mean, if you got to run it back with somebody, then do that. Because imagine if Keith Thurman would have been in there instead of his name escapes me, the native guy. I'm part native
Mario
too.
Barrios. That would have been
Yeah,
a
there we
huge
go,
win for
Barrio.
Keith if you did that. Keith would have got a huge win.
Exactly. It would have gave him the clout that he needed to be like, okay, I did Ugas like that. Earl did him like that. Like let's talk about me now. But he should have did that in the ring. But he keeps turning down fights, just like how he said. I mean, at least he admitted it. He said that he made a huge mistake by turning down a fight during COVID. When he's like, oh, I don't want to do that. And he kind of insinuated that because he turned down that fight, they kind of shelved him. So I
I
mean,
don't even
but I mean,
think
what do
Keith
you
would have
expect
did
when you keep
Ugas like
turning
that.
down fights?
I don't even think Keith would have did Ugas like that, to be honest. I don't think Keith would have did what Barrios did.
I mean, you could be right. Maybe that's why he didn't want to do it. But I mean, you have to risk something in order to reap something. And it seems like he don't want to risk nothing. And when he does want to risk, he wants a career changing payday. And it's been how many years now? At least what, two?
Yep, you
But he
right.
fought Pacquiao like in 2019. Then he fought Barrios in I think 2021. So he's only had really one fight in the last 5 years.
In
Man,
my mind, I'm already in 2024. Shoot.
exactly. Exactly. That's how you have to think as a boxer as well. Like you know what I'm saying? What comes next? And I don't know what I don't know. I think a lot of that stuff, his early career wins, which were impressive, have gotten to his head, and he just coasting. And I also think that I think, to be honest with you, Thurman might be a little intimidated because he sees that this is a different ballpark. It's hungry dudes, and he knows that as soon as he get in that ring, one of his the number one person that's going to be in his way is Boots, and I think that he knows that he can't tussle with that young man. He can't tussle with that bull.
I don't think Thurman can beat Barrios again right now. Honestly, he caught Barrios coming up to the division, and Barrios hurt him to the body, and that was his first fight up there. I think Barrios has acclimated. He's done got his power and stuff for the division, and he's done got his stamina and stuff for the division. I don't think Keith can stand with Barrios right now. I think Keith is too scared to get in that ring with anybody because he knows his name is a stepping stone. He only got one loss, Thurman. And he knows the next person he get in the ring with, they're gonna be coming to give him his second loss. They're trying to make him a gatekeeper, and they're trying to get it. But Keith, he just won't let them close that gate unless they give him enough money.
And but the thing is that you eat what you eat what you kill. This is the game. This is the game of boxing. And you're only as good as your last fight. His fight was 2 years ago. So to come in demanding $10 million when that performance against Barrios did not equate to that, it's like, come on, bruh. And you've been out the ring. You have 1 foot in the ring, 1 foot out. So I feel as though he's doing himself a disadvantage because you can't come in demanding all of this.
With only 97K pay-per-view buys in that fight too.
Exactly. You can't come in demanding all of this and then requesting to fight Boots. But I mean, hey, if you want to lose your O, I mean, if you want to lose, you go because I mean, it's not like he's going to not lose his O, but it's not like he's going to win against Boots. I don't think anybody have Thurman beating Boots. No, I just can't see it. Boots is just too much for him. And if he was to sign up with Stanionis, I think he got his hands full with Stanionis. I don't care what nobody say. I
Do either of you think maybe it's time for Keith to move up to 154? See if maybe he can land a payday up there.
Man, no, he gonna get ran through that too. I think he can get a couple of easy wins, yeah. But like as far as I think Tim Tszyu would give Thurman a run for his money. Honestly, like, and that's even if he was to fight a Tim Tszyu. And let's say if Jermell come back down, I think Jermell would tear Keith Thurman head off. Am I wrong in that assessment, Upper? What do
And
you think? Or Coach Amber?
Jay Smith, you took the words out of my mouth. You just stole my thunder. Versus Virgil at 154. I like it.
Virgil
Maybe
gonna
not
take
for
that.
their first fight in that weight class, but I like it.
Y'all know Virgil finna put the brakes, put the hands and feet on that man.
So
Lord, maybe he need that though. You know what? Go to 154 and fight Virgil. Y'all absolutely right. Maybe he need that. Who would give him a worse beating, Virgil or Boots?
Boots would be the more embarrassing beating, I think.
Why do you say that?
But because of the showboating, and he would. I think Boots would play with his food. Virgil would just come in, do his job, and be like, "Let's go home." I think Boots would style on him. He would enjoy it too much.
And then not to mention, you know, Boots is a flashy fighter. He wears flashy trunks and stuff. So let somebody come in, let Boots come in with them shimmery trunks and outlandish trunks, man, and showboat on me. Man, that's embarrassing. Oh my God, that'd be so embarrassing. You are right. That'll be a face palm. Pick up your face, young brother. Pick up your face. Yes, that'll be an embarrassing bout. What do you think about fighter of the year? I know we're getting close on time for Just Do. Shout out to Just Do and Mrs. Just Do. Time for 3 p.m. Y'all make sure y'all tune in for that. But for this last segment, a couple questions that I have is we found out that Inoue is going to be fighting, is it Tapales? Y'all correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. The chat is definitely undefeated. But Inoue is going for his second undisputed. Am I right about that? Chat, am I right about that? I think he's going to his second undisputed fight, but I do know that they are fighting December 26th. And in my opinion, thank you, Thomas Hill. And in my opinion, if Inoue wins this fight, although he's is going to be held in Japan, and I'm still weary and leery about that, for the simple fact that Japan is different than us and what they allow. And Stephen Fulton and his team pointed it out. Nonito Donaire, future Hall of Famer, has pointed it out. And I don't believe in two coincidences. I just don't. So I'm still, the reason why I don't have any weight on my pound for pound list is because I got to see him in America. So, with that being said, however, we cannot negate the fact that this would be his second time fighting this year and going for the belts and going for the glory and the belts, guts, and glory. Okay, so will he be a top contender of fighter of the year, or do Bud Crawford still have that down pat? What do you think, Coach Amber?
My personal opinion is Bud, and everybody knows I'm not a Bud fan, but I'm not gonna sit here and argue that he doesn't deserve Fighter of the Year. I mean, I think he does.
So who you talking about?
Anyway, is going for his second fight with
Oh yeah, his second undisputed. Yeah, if he, I know he's about to beat this dude, but yeah, he's done got 2 times undisputed in 3 fights. You gotta take your hat off for that right there. You got to.
Dank Luque made a very good comment, or very interesting. Shout out to Dank. He said, "Let's be real. What big competition is under 130?" That is a good assessment. That is a good assessment. I mean, we all kind of know that he is going to. Hey, yo, Upper, real quick, can you wrench? Is Ariana wrenched up?
Yeah, everybody's wrenched.
Okay, I'm just making because I can't see it on my side, so my apologies.
Yeah, I made sure everybody wrenched. If you're
Okay,
not wrenched, let me know. But I thought I had everybody wrenched.
okay. Shout out to the Queen Ariana, but I think that with anyway. So with me being, impartial, unbiased, I thought that Bud Crawford displayed an amazing performance. I don't even care about the external factors that surrounding it. I'm just talking about the performance in the ring. You know what I'm saying? What he did, the angles that he was able to display, his footwork, his countering. Yesterday, I told y'all that I feel as though Devin Haney is one of the top 10 counter punchers in the game. I really respect Devin Haney's counter punching abilities. However, my number one counterpuncher right now would definitely be Bud Crawford. I think Bud Crawford counterpunching is so underrated. The way that he was able to catch Earl Spence coming in, when Earl Spence did the Philly shell, how he shelled up and did the peekaboo style, came back up. He was just there for the taking for Bud. And I just feel like that display for me still puts him in the top performance for Fighter of the Year. However, I will not negate the fact that anyway, going for his second undisputed to be the youngest undisputed champion in the four belt era is not anything to look past. That is an amazing feat. I do wish that he could do that in America, though. I want to see him in
Hell yeah.
fighter. That's why I take my hat off to Tim Zoo, because Tim Zoo has said in his last bout that he is coming to America. He wants Vegas. And so that makes me think like, okay, he ready for the big dogs. He ready for the big change. Now, how would that result be? We don't know, because America and Australia got two different rules. So I want to see anyway in America before I put him on my pound for pound list. But I will say that he is a close second for Fighter of the Year. But you know how this game go. I'm pretty sure that the ending will be with Inoue as being Fighter of the Year.
Me for my fighters of the year, I gotta put Monster Inoue, and not Monster Inoue ain't younger than Dev. I think ain't Inoue like 28, 29.
No, he's 30, but he's going for.
Yeah, that's what I said, about 29. He's
He's 30.
30. Yeah. If I had to go for fighters of the year, I would have to throw Inoue in there for one. If Devin beats Regis convincingly, then I had to put him on there too, because with the Loma and with the Regis, that's two great wins. If David Benavidez beats Boo Boo, that's two great wins. Caleb Plant and Boo Boo, undefeated Boo Boo, that's great right there too. You had to put Tank on there for his two Garcia wins and amassed over 2 million pay-per-view buys in two fights versus two undefeated fighters. So people don't realize, but Garcia just beat Chris Colbert, and the other Garcia was undefeated as well. So that's two great wins. I will put Bud up there, but he only had one fight. Fight of the year is more than one fight. And people didn't give Spence the credit that now they want to give him now that Bud beat him. Like, we've been trying to give Spence all this credit, but people wasn't even trying to mark Spence in the top 5 pound for pound. Like, now y'all give him his just due like y'all doing with Deontay Wilder. Wilder was a beast, but nobody gave Wilder his flowers until after he lost. Then they named Tyson Fury the best ever because he beat Deontay Wilder. So that must have meant Deontay Wilder was the shit, because now y'all giving people credit for beating him. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm saying right there. You got to give people their flowers if you want to use them to stand on as well. And like I said, Terrence Crawford had one fight. If he had another one, then I would pick him in there. But one fight, I feel like doesn't warrant the fact that people are fighting more than once a year and they're putting in work. So like I said, Benavidez, if he wins, Devin, if he wins, Inoue, if he wins, and that probably be my list right there for them right there.
My right fight, there. That's a good list, Upper. That's a good list. And Teach, that is a good point. Teach said that Inoue did what Jamel did not, and one, he went up 2 weight classes. That's a good point. However, what I will say, from my fighters of the year, the contenders at least.
Inoue went up 1 weight class. What do you mean? He won at 118, then he came up to 122. He beat
about to go to 126, right? Or 130.
Nah, he has to go to 126 if he beats the dude this week. This year.
Yeah, so but if he wins, that'd be 2 weight classes, correct?
Yeah, that'd be 118 and 122.
Okay, right. So so for me, my contenders would be Bud Crawford.
Hold on 1 second, Key.
Okay, go ahead.
Teach. He was at 118 when he collected the belts at 118, Teach. Because he beat Nonito twice, and then he beat 2 other people for the belts at 118. Now he's going up to 122.
That's a good point. You're right.
Yeah, I ain't saying nothing about skipping 15. I'm talking about going from 118 to 122. That's only one division. Teach saying he skipped 115 and went to 118.
115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. 115. I get that. I think for my contenders would definitely be Bud Crawford. Because of the way he won. I thought that that was very impressive. I still stand on that. Number two would be Tank Davis because of the revenue that he brought in, especially with that first Garcia fight. Not Ryan Garcia, but with Hector Garcia, being that he was a silver medal Olympian
And
and
a 130 champion.
yeah, and a 130 champion, and the fact that he was coming off of a situation ship. And he had a lot of scars stacked up against him, and for him to mentally pull that out and put that man down on a stool, that was impressive to me. So it'll be those two performances. I will give it to Inoue. He's definitely a contender because of how he beat my boo boo, Stephen Fulton. Stephen Fulton was number 10 on my pound for pound list, and y'all, I had to take Stephen Fulton off. Y'all don't know how heartbreaking that was for me. So, Stephen Fulton, the way he did Stephen, man, definitely a contender. Whether he was to fight a second time or not this year, Inoue would definitely be a contender for fight of the year. And I did like, and this might be controversial, like the way Navarrete handled Oscar Valdez. Navarrete broke his hand, hurt his hand in that fight, and he still put the pounds on Oscar Valdez and showed lateral movement. So I really like the way Navarrete. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Forgive me if I'm not.
Hey, hey, let me get one thing in real quick, Key.
Go ahead, Upper. I'm sorry.
You say he skipped 115, right? But in 2014, no. Okay. He skipped he skipped the flyweight division because he in 2014 he was in the 115. He was in the junior bantamweight and he won a belt December 30th, 2014. And then he fought from December 1, 2014 all the way to December 30th, 2017 when he beat Yohan Buex and retained the WBO junior bantamweight title. He went from junior bantamweight in 2017 to bantamweight at 2018, which is 118. And he beat Jamie McDonald. He beat Jamie McDonald to get the bantamweight. Then he beat Juan Carlos Payona, Emmanuel Rodriguez, Nonito Donaire, Jason Maloney, Michael Desmanas, Aaron DePanas, and Nonito Donaire again in the bantamweights. Then he beat Paul Butler. Then he went up to the super bantamweight and beat Stephen Fulton. So look, he was in 115, 118, and 122. So he skipped the division that's under 115. I just had to read it out. I think it's the 112 division that he skipped. But he was in a light flyweight. He went from light flyweight to junior bantamweight. So he skipped the flyweight division. And that was almost 10 years ago. All right. We got to keep facts over here.
Thank you for that, Upper. You know, Upper's coming with the facts, y'all. Y'all know Upper's coming with the facts. William, old school, made it good. He said Tank versus Monster could be the biggest fight in boxing one day as long as Monster don't lose. I don't see anybody giving Monster a showdown. And let me tell you something.
I think Robeisy might give him some problems at 127, and then 130. William Foster the third there, plus Oshaki Foster. It's a tough task for him to jump straight up the Tank. There's some killers in between them.
You know what? I forgot about Robeisy. And let me tell you something. If he was to go up to 135 and fight Tank, I'm going to definitely have a side eye on him. I ain't even going to stunt to y'all. But that'll be it. Coach Amber, do you have anything to say, Queen?
As far as the fighter of the year, I mean, other than Cool Boy, this year, I mean, was there anybody that Inoue fought that was a world beater or
Nonito Donaire?
I mean, was that this year?
Hold on, I'm gonna tell you now. But he's fighting another.
I thought that was last year.
But another thing he fought Cool Boy, and now he's about to fight another fighter for undisputed. So he's fighting another fighter for
Okay, but what the fighter that he's fighting for undisputed? I
has
mean,
2
is
belts.
he in top 5 on any of the pound for pound list?
He
Which
has
I'm not
2
a fan of the
belts,
pound for pound list
but he has 2
because
belts. He has 2 belts. So you feel me? He has 2 belts.
what's that mean?
That means that he's about to
He has
unify.
2 belts.
He's a unified champion. Anyway, beat Butler December 13th, 2022. Then he beat Stephen Fulton July 2023. So now,
He has 2 belts, but is he top 5 in the world?
how is he gonna be top 5 in the world when it's all these different divisions, Coach Amber? Now we throwing stones like we're not recognizing unified.
Well, no, I'm
Like,
trying
he's
to
going
make
against
my
he's
point
going to,
on who.
he just beat
I mean,
Aqueduct.
I
You
know
feel
who's
me?
probably going to end up with Fighter of the Year, but I'm
I
actually
know,
advocating for Bud.
but this one with one fight, like they wasn't even giving Spence all that credit. Now you want to give him all that credit for one fight. This man is about to make undisputed in 2 fights. He's fighting a dude that beat Akhmadov, and Akhmadov was the shit because him and Stephen Fulton never matched up, and they was trying to. In a way, he just got undisputed, moved up, and about to get undisputed again in 2 fights. That's an accomplishment. I don't even like the man, but that's an accomplishment that you have to respect. Bud got 1 fight. He got undisputed off 1 fight. The man went and got 3 belts. All Bud had to do was wait him out and fight. That's 1 fight. Yes, it was a good win, but you can't take that over all the other wins people got. Like if David Benavidez beats Boo Boo and Caleb, that's 2 great wins. If Devin beats Regis Prograis and he beat Lomachenko, that's 2 great wins. You can't compare 1 to 2. Like that's why I said if Bud had another fight, like even if he had the David Avenesian fight in the beginning of this year, I mean that'd have been 2 fights. Even though it was a bunch of bull crap with that fight, that's 2 fights. You giving a person credit for 1 fight over other people that fought 2. And I feel like all these other fighters are fighting high caliber fighters as well. Tank versus Ryan and Tank versus Hector Garcia, that's 2 great fights.
Well, I'm not going on averages. I mean, you're right. It is 1 fight, but it was, and this is you know I don't care for Bud. I
Yeah,
was
he fight a
you
great
know
version
that.
of that fight, though.
But and I think it's goofy. I think it's goofy that he says that Earl wasn't all that and Earl wasn't shit. The bums gave him more resistance. Well, if that's the case, then why are we giving you all this credit? But me personally, I'm giving him credit because I know that Earl Spence is one of the best fighters in the world. You can try to
Okay.
downplay your own win all you want.
So
That's
okay,
you because you're goofy.
would
But
you give Hector Camacho? Would you give Hector Camacho Fight of the Year for beating the coming out of retirement Sugar Ray Leonard over Pernell Whitaker that beat 2 top contenders and defended his belt against 2 top contenders? Does Hector Camacho win overshadows that? Or matter of
but if he's
fact,
coming out of retirement, how is he one of the best fighters in the world if he's coming out of retirement?
because the name is still Sugar Ray Leonard. Earl coming off the long layoff. That's just like a retirement. That long ass layoff.
Ah, come on now. I think Bud deserves it. I wouldn't be surprised if they gave it to Inoue. I think they are going to give it to Inoue, but I think Bud deserves it. And I'm not a Bud fan. I'm not a Bud fan.
Well,
I think he beat
I
one of
feel
the
like he
best
only
fighters in
deserves
the
it for
world.
1 fight. Like this fight could have been fought last year. Like your man stalled it out. Yeah, we
But
could have had 2
I
fights.
think the man that Bud beat is better than everybody that Inoue beat. That's what I think. That's the only reason I'm advocating for Bud, and I don't like Bud.
fact. That is a definitely fact, Coach Amber.
But
That's
if
all
it's
I'm
better
saying, and I
than
don't even like Bud like that.
And that is true, Rick Timms. If Canelo was fighting Munguia next, that's a duck. That is a duck. Duck. DUC. And we're going to cook on that tomorrow, too. Duck, duck, goose. As in the words of Rick,
Write it down. Write it down.
in the words of Rick Timms, duck, duck, goose. Duck, duck, goose. But I definitely see both of you guys' point of view. I think that will give a monster anyway if he pulled it out.
I'm gonna tell you like this, he's not fighting Munguia next. That's after his PBC contract.
But I think there's rumors. Hold on, I think there's rumors. Not to cut you off, King, but I think that there's rumors that Canelo is not fighting next year. Period. That's what they just came out and said this morning, that they're unsure if Canelo is even going to fight next year.
Yeah,
That's
of
all.
course they push some rumors, but did you hear from Canelo or Al Heyman? Canelo signed for a 2 fight. I mean, he signed the deal. Canelo's locked in. They just sitting there pushing narratives. Like I said, it's a narrative. We'll see. We will see.
No, I want him to fight next year. It's
Because
to be
from
against
what
Benavidez.
I've heard, that he's ready to fight Benavidez right now. He's
Yeah,
ready for the winner
fight
of
Benavidez.
Benavidez and either Benavidez or Charlo.
I give it. I think he still will fight next year. That's what he said in the ring, and I could see him fighting Benavidez next year. Although he's been on record saying, I think that was him that said he doesn't want to fight any more Mexican fighters or something like that. I don't
Yeah, that
know.
was a while ago. Benavidez done touched home. But
Um, but
we
I
get
think that's a good point, Shawad. Benavidez moving along to 75. That's a rumor too. That after Boo Boo, he might go to 75. That's a rumor, so we don't
yeah,
know.
that's a rumor, but I'm telling you now, it's just the drawing eyes to make people watch. Canelo, if Benavidez beats Boo Boo, it's Canelo and Boo Boo. I mean, it's Canelo and Benavidez in May. You heard it first. Y'all know what it is. But go ahead and do our closeout. Key, you've been great today. We cut into people's time.
Oh
This
yes,
just
very
do is getting it in, and at 3 Central, EBTs will be coming on as well.
yes. Oh, and don't forget, you guys, definitely check out J Hardcore Boxing at 6 as well. Shout out to that king. And Coach Amber, go ahead give points queen. Y'all make sure y'all be giving Coach Amber her flowers. Give this queen her flowers. Go
Make
ahead.
sure you subscribe to Coach Amber, y'all.
Oh, she got
And
a
make sure
channel?
y'all subscribe to Key Alexander.
I have a channel. There's nothing on it. Y'all gonna make me start one though.
Well,
Go
yeah, you
I
start
don't
need to
know
go
where
ahead
I'm
and
gonna
stop
find the
being lazy
time.
and get it done. Stop being lazy and get it done now, Coach Amber.
Come on, coach. We come on, man. You've been in the game. You are one of the pillars of this female boxing. So I'm definitely, now that I know that you have a channel, I'm gonna be asking you all the time. I'm gonna be texting you, yo, get your channel going. So go ahead and
You
give
know
your
what, Key? We'll
You
talk
are
behind the
officially
scenes,
a
and
upper.
I think I know what kind of format I want.
You know
So
something, Coach
we'll
Amber.
talk
You
behind
are
the scenes.
officially an upper echelon female producer now, so you have to go ahead and make a channel.
yep. You gotta go. We room for you, coach. We are definitely room for you. But
I
go
mean,
ahead and
Thank
give
you
your
so
final
much.
queen.
you're eating at the
Thank you to the
table.
chat. Um, yeah, thank you guys for everything. Rick, I hope you are listening from a reasonable Spence fan to a reasonable Bud fan. I am advocating for your boy. I don't like him, can't stand him, but I think he beat one of the best fighters in the world, and I think he deserved it. So I don't want to hear no mess later on. And that's all I got.
All right. And I just want to say thank you for everybody out there that came through. Peace and blessings to you all. We had a great show today. I would like to say thank you to my guy, Expensive Paper, Nate Dog, Strap Season, Expensive Paper again, Barbara D, the lovely, Aaron Muhammad, Jermaine B. Thank y'all for donating to the channel. It is greatly appreciated. Y'all donations help keep this channel rolling. And peace and blessings, all things. And I'm gonna let Key take us out. But just know I love y'all, and we will be on the day at 11:30 to 11:45. Whenever KO comes off, that's when we come on and turn it up. Peace and blessings to you all. I'm gonna turn it over to Key.
Yeah, shout out to KO, man. He heard a lot of feelings last night. Shout out to KO, but shout out to everybody that came through. Shout out to Teach, Ray Davis. Yo, Ray Davis. I think that's you who said that Regis can beat Shakur. I'm gonna have to call it a flag on the play, brother. But it's all in love. Big Dose, thank you for coming through. Shawa, as always, Queen. Good to see you back. Aaron Muhammad. Thomas Hill, one of the goats of YouTube. Shout out to you, Frequent Flyer. Shout out to you, Rick Timms, another one of the goats. Thank Luke Kane. All things. Thank you so much as always for supporting. Also to Coach Amber, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm gonna talk to you behind the scenes, Queen. Shout out to who else was on here? Expensive Paper. Shout out to you, sir. Shout out to D1 as always. Strap season, the lovely queen, one of the queens of the chat, Miss Barbara D. Thank you for coming through as always. Um, and anybody else that I missed, my apologies. But thank you guys for coming in. I hope that you all stay blessed. Your family stay blessed. check out Just Do Boxing right now. Everything Boxing, I think that's what it's called, and J Hardcore Boxing and KO. I mean, there's so many boxing channels, but it's all great content. Okay, Ray Davis, I'm sorry if that wasn't you, then I apologize. It was somebody named with the Ray that said Regis beats Shakur. I'm gonna track that person down, but my fault, King. Shout out to you. And Upper, as always, thank you for this panel. It's always love between us. Talk to you behind the scenes. Shout out to you, your family, your wife, and I'll see you tonight for the men and women talk. Oh, and shout out to Dub Brightside who came through last night and dropped some beautiful gems last night on the Upper Echelon Men channel where we discuss men and women relationships and dating and all that other good stuff. So shout out to everybody. God bless. I'm out.
Y'all know what the fuck going on around here, nigga. Y'all nigga keep talking about you want smoke. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. Raw Molly got me all up in demon mode. Mouth moving like I done put clean in my nose. Trying to catch me up, I can leave with some hoes. He standing straight up, watch I make him lean with this pole. Would've thought he was closed, how that heat made him fold. Thought it was a game, he won't think no more. His brain's gone, nigga. It be exciting when I get to striking. Guns sound like thunder, hit you like lightning. Fight for your life, we don't do no fighting. We really hit it, nigga. We worse than savage, they calling us Vikings. Police be riding, we still be sliding. Told you we hitters, remember the time. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really tripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really tripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. How about I leave them holding like the Bible? AR-15, that's a high-power rifle. A in the army and assassinate rivals. Break that shit down, nigga. AK or anybody kill. Hop out, get the drilling and spilling. 7.62 gon' split 'em. FN, that's for any fuck nigga. You a plug, then I'm pulling up, nigga. You my lunch, eat these bullets for dinner. 5.0, eat 'em up, eat 'em up. SK, smoke killer for show. Drum rounds and cripple ops, Draco. I got them all, you don't want no. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really tripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get this pussy, leave a nigga bleeding. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really tripping, leave a nigga bleeding.